All right. Two admissions. I'm just trying to make sure I remember them both clearly. One is about Bechtloff and cops. The other is about Styx, Hex, and Hammer, and legal immigrants. So it's looking more and more like for legal immigrants, they are siding with the right. Can't quite see. Couldn't quite see. There we go. Good. Okay. Like letting the cars go first because, fuel really costs money, while getting into motion and stopping happen much faster. Like one time I remember actually having this discussion with a homie of mine who he was really good at driving. He was that kind of guy who would have his windows cracked because he would pass cars so close. He needed the windows cracked to hear it. To hear how close he was when he would pass cars. Like he was that good of a driver. He could hear the traffic. He was an amazing fucking character. He also kind of was a little scary and one of those G'd up homies who had kind of a fascinating background. But so one of the things that Styx had right, and Styx actually, this would be as opposed to some, and actually a good number of opinions you get out of the America First crowd. Wow, that car's fucked up. That a lot of Latino immigrants who immigrated here legally are now starting to show signs of voting more and more and more right wing. Now, this was Styx's contention. While I thought he could be right, I would then listen to, the contentions of somebody like Fuentes, and then I would sit back and I'm like, now what have you experienced? And then you're like, no, almost every second and third generation immigrant you grew up with is conservative, was conservative, just naturally did conservative things. Almost all of them on Facebook have children, whether Chinese or El Salvadorian, or they're married. A lot of the Latinos went into the military. Styx, I think, has called this one absolutely correctly. That by the end of the story, it really will be that there's going to be a generation of immigrant parents and children that were a big part of a silent change that happened where people stopped voting Democratic Party in as great numbers. Next thing is Bechtloff had talked about cops, and Tim Pool kind of nailed this, of all the people, with this story about the truckers, and that, well, the truckers aren't going to go through Colorado. This is going to cost them money. This is going to have people upset, but the truckers are willing to do it because the truckers see what's happening. The police were willing to get beaten up, shot, killed. They would do anything to obey orders. They would do anything to properly fulfill their orders. And so, they even shut down businesses, would harass people who were trying to do normal shit. They got fooled, like the famous person on the beach who it turns out was just like a mannequin or something like that. They shouldn't be responding to such calls. They should be only dealing with crime. Not only should they be dealing with crime, it should have been that once it was like, oh, the police are so mean, people started burning stuff down, people should have started showing up for their arrest pictures after rioting with fewer teeth in their face. But that's the police want to follow orders. They want their retirement. It's a job and they want their retirement, and all they want to do is hand out tickets, apparently. For easy, they want to do it easy. And also, you could get it because everybody, they got all these people up their ass about punishing people for legitimate crimes. So it makes perfect sense. They're at that status where they're like, I don't care. I don't care. I'll bust normal people for dumb shit and whatever it does to get my quota of bothering people. You know, and yeah, this is, and Bechtloff's right. It's a real problem for the right of center now. That the police are sort of not just, the police are kind of meaningless. To the right of center, the police are a bit meaningless. Why would you call them when you could just shoot the burglar dead and never have to deal with ever having to explain yourself about it? Really? Just a thought.